Hi YouTube, Lavender Moon here. This is a video response to LadyGraveDancers. Uh, we'll just say spiritual activity. Um, spiritual. Um, Never done a video response before, so I'm gonna try to keep on topic. Okay, because my videos I seem to go off topic. Anyway, there we go. I guess I've been able to see spirits, but on a different level, not physical, more like feeling them, sensing when they're there. It basically got a little bit more intense, I would say. I was able to see a little bit more, probably starting when I first moved here to this house, right before my 20th birthday. When I moved here, I started noticing I was able to sense more, pick up a little bit more on who was all really here. It really, I started to like feel it, but not really see it until the morning of Samhain, my 20th birthday. So probably it'll be almost 6 years, when I was visited by my Nana. And she had passed away when I was 17, a few months before my 18th birthday, in like 2005. And I was visited by her, and she'd come to tell me that she was going to take my papa, that she was here for him. And I'm like, okay, we're outside of DMV, and my Nana, who's dead, is telling me she's going to take my papa. I was like, okay, Nana, you're dead. She's like, don't worry, everything will be okay. I'm like, creepy. Okay. So when I got up that day, I went about, doing my business and having dinner with my son's parents and my son's dad's parents. There we go. It makes more sense. Haha. Not my son's parents. Yeah, anyway. So basically, I went about my day. No, I'm going to try and meet up with my papa, tell him happy Halloween, see how he was doing. Didn't get a chance to do that. The next day, about, I want to say noon, 1 o'clock, my Aunt Susan had come over and told me that my papa had passed away of a heart attack that day. He was on his way out of town shopping, and he had a heart attack and died. So I was like, well, Nana, you did warn me, but it was still a shocker, to have lost both of them, and I was really close to both of them. About a couple weeks later, in that same room, not this room, I don't feel as much in this room as the other room. My poor brother. He says he saw something black floating one night, and he's all, nope, and put a blanket over his head. But anyway, I didn't have that experience. I had a little bit different. I was half awake, and I saw 4 people in the room. And I was thinking, oh, God, my parents, my door must not have been locked, because I always lock my door. I don't know why. We're in a decent neighborhood, and I still lock my door. I don't know why. I lock it. And these people were standing in front of the bed, and they were like talking but not talking. Their mouths weren't moving, but I could hear what they were saying, but it wasn't complete sentences. It was like, oh, don't sell the house. Don't sell the house. Tell your grandma not to sell the house. Money is here. There's money here. You need to keep the house and the family. And I was like, okay. And as I started to like get a sense of the people, I noticed there were an older gentleman, a younger man, an older woman, and an old woman dressed all in black with long black hair. And of course they were all Mexican. They were, like, okay, a little weird. So I sat up all of a sudden, because I'm like, I've never been able to see them that clearly. And I thought, okay, something's up. This is weird. Normally I see in my dream, or I can sense them. Like, I see a corner of my eye, I see like a shadow, but never have I been able to physically see them in the room. It startled me because I wasn't expecting this. I mean, over the years, I guess it has been growing, or more so because I connected with my family differently. So later that morning when I got up, I told my mom right away. I said, dude, I don't know what's up, Mom. I mean, I saw people in my room and they weren't alive. And she's like, okay, because my mom's always sensed, she's been able to sense spirits and whatnot. She wasn't weirded out by it. Now, when I had to tell my grandmother, because I'm like, okay, I needed to find out who these people were because I had never seen them in my life. So I was telling her, and I was telling her about the older man. He was closer to the woman. They were older. I explained that the woman had like curly hair, it was short. The older man seemed to have glasses on. And then I explained that the younger guy was maybe a little taller than me, had a mustache. He looked familiar. And the woman dressed all in black with black hair, who I'd never seen in my life before. I mean, I sensed anger with her. Just angry, just anger. So, and I told her what they said, and she's all, oh, you must have been talking about, your grandma and grandpa, your great grandma and grandpa. And I'm like, okay. So she wasn't weirded out by this at all. And then she told me the man was my Uncle Johnny, who was killed about, 2-3 years before I was born. I was like, okay. And she told me she had no idea who the woman was. She said she never heard or seen that woman before in the house, even in spirit form, because my grandma can pick up on it. Well, later I found out that it was my dad's mom. Apparently she was a mean lady, they said, and she was a bruja. I was like, okay, right on. So over the years, I have been able to see my great grandmother. And she'll watch over and she'll unlock my door at night. I'll be totally dead asleep. I can always sense when my son gets up. I can always hear his little pitter patter on the floor. But that night, no pitter patter. My door, I heard it unlock and open, and I'm the only one that has a key to this door. And the key was in my room, in my purse, under my bed. That sounds weird. And I look over and nobody's at the door. My son is like out, totally asleep, and my door's wide open, unlocked. I was like, okay, not cool. So I peeked around thinking maybe it was my dad playing a joke on me or something. Nope, nobody was outside the door. So I told my dad later, I said, hey, what's up with that? My door just unlocked and opened by itself. He's all, well, your great grandma used to unlock the door on me when I was younger, and she'd unlock the door, and she doesn't, really care for locked doors. So I'm like, okay. But it was still creepy. And then my son will run around the house playing like cowboys and Indians or something, or guns shooting. And he'll run around, and there's nobody there. And he's playing, and he'll run back and forth in the room. He'll be laughing and talking. He's 3 years old, mind you. And so one day I was like, oh, who are you playing with? Thinking maybe he had an imaginary friend. Oh, I'm playing with my friend. He sleeps in my room. I was like, what? My mom's like there, and she's looking over at me, and I'm like, okay, well, what does your friend look like? He's big, he's tall. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's his name? His name's John. And I'm like, okay, Johnny? And he's like, yeah, his name is John. I'm like, okay. And so my dad pulls out a picture, and my mission right away says, that's my friend Johnny. And I'm like, okay. What is freaky is he plays guns with them, and that's how my Uncle Johnny was killed. He was out playing guns with his friends, and somebody had live ammo and accidentally, I don't know. I've heard stories, but they said it was an accident. You don't carry live ammo to play with your friends shooting, but yeah, and it was yeah. So my son has to have a St. Christopher medallion on him because when he was about 3 months old, he started getting night terrors, really, really, really bad night terrors. And so my grandmother, being Catholic, Yeah. She put one on him. But he hasn't had a night terror. He's no screaming, no crying, no problems. My mom always said, oh, well, the dark forces, even his grandpa's like, he's very susceptible to spirits. So I guess, like they say, everybody is susceptible to spirits. It's just on a different level and how open you are to them. I guess moving here and finding out a little bit about my heritage has opened it up a little bit more. I was happy with the way it was because, believe me, I was not prepared to be visited by people and being told that people were going to die. Freaky. Anyway, yeah. I've that has been like a few years now, but I've come to accept it. It's something that I deal with, and sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for this right now. I am like an emotional train wreck because it's that time of the month. Forget it. Yeah. Anyway, leave it at that. I already see it's like 11 minutes. Anyway, blessed be, guys.